This is the fastest way to update your affiliate data feed from Avantlink using this n8n template. It will automatically download all of your subscriptions, format them, and then upload them to your Google Drive. You can later connect them to a database and simply use this template, which you can download by visiting the first link in the description. So the first thing you need to do is log into your Avantlink account. After you log in, go to Add Tools and go down to Datafeed Manager. We're going to hit Create. And for the subscription, you will name it. In this case, we will select Shields. And you will choose your website. For the merchant data feed, we will click on the drop-down list and find Shields to create the data feed file. For the data feed quality score, this score is extremely important, which we will talk about later. For the integration method, we will use raw data feed file. For the feed format, we will click on the drop-down list and select comma separated, which is a CSV file. For file compression, we will leave it as none. For the categories, this is where the data feed quality score comes into play. Not all merchants create their data feed the same way. Some are better than the other. But if you want product pricing information, retail price, UPC code, color, size, all of that stuff, this is where the data feed quality score comes into play. So for this case, we're going to just choose brands. And down here, we can choose all of the brands that we want to add into our data feed. For this example, we're going to just select, we're just going to randomly select a couple brands. And we're going to scroll all the way down. We're going to click on data feed columns. Now, this data feed column is directly related to the data feed quality score. And right here, we can see that we have pretty much most of the important items that we need. We need the product URL, we need the affiliate links, the shipping label, the pricing information, SKU number, product name, description, and we can use this to populate our product page. And it's going to pull the image from the database, and we're also going to pull in our affiliate links. So right here, we have pretty much all we want. And we also have availability, which you can show to the customers visiting your page. Hey, is this product in stock or is it out of stock? So once we have chosen all the columns that you think is useful, hit Save. And on the next page, you're going to get the downloaded link to that data feed file. So right here in our Google Sheets, we have two very important columns: vendor and the data feed URL. Once we created all of the data feed subscriptions, we will copy the URL and paste them right inside this column. Now let's go back into our n8n workflow. So it's going to pull all of the column data from this Google spreadsheets, and then it's going to feed them into our HTTP request node. So if we hit test, it's going to grab all of the column data from the spreadsheet. And then next, we're going to add a batch split node. If we hit test, it's going to move all of the items into the loop. And the next node is the HTTP request node. This node's only function is to visit each one of the URLs and download the file. So right here, the method we're going to use is to get, and the URL is simply the URL that we are mapping from the batch split node. So simply drag that URL schema right in here and leave everything as default. And one thing very important you have to do is to clean up the data feed file, because not all merchants list the information the same way. For example, some merchants will list their pricing information with USD after the number. And sometimes you have to go in there to remove the letters after all the numbers. Another example would be manufacturer ID. Some merchants will have an extra space in between the letters, and some don't. Some will put a dot in between letters, And sometimes that can confuse the filtering system. So you have to go in there and normalize all of the data by removing the space so that all of the information, all of the data feed file can go inside the database flawlessly and using the same format. So if we hit test, it's going to reference all of the information from the spreadsheet, download each one of the URLs, download that data feed file, extract them into a binary file, and then we can modify the columns, normalize certain columns so that the data can easily go inside our Superbase table. And then it's going to loop through all of the 12 items. And then once everything is uploaded to Google Drive, we can upload them to Superbase. Once you have everything squared away, everything is working perfectly, you can add a scheduled time trigger to run this daily. So you never have to worry about updating your website manually, and it's going to automatically refresh all of the latest product info with pricing, deals, all of that directly from the data feed file. And then the next thing we can do is connect them to Superbase, which will be the next video that you can watch right here.